So welcome guys. In the previous video we have studied that there are mainly three layers of the eyeball: the outermost, the middle and the innermost. We have studied that the outermost layer consists of two parts, the sclera and the cornea. This is sclera and this is cornea. In the previous video I have already told you that sclera is somehow opaque whereas cornea is transparent. Now talking about the sclera, first of all, if we take this much small section of sclera, why sclera is opaque? Sclera is somehow made up of collagen fibers in which the collagen fibers are irregularly arranged, and that is the reason why light cannot pass or why the sclera is opaque. This is the outermost layer, sclera. Now further talking, there is a small layer outer to the sclera. This is called as episclera. So I'll be making episclera. Now one of the most important thing, just outside to the episclera there is a very hard capsule present which is called as the Tennant's capsule. This capsule gives attachment to the muscles, superior rectus, inferior rectus, oblique rectus, and whatever are the muscles of. There are actually 4 muscles of the eyeball. This is the eyeball. Now suppose these are the beautiful eyelids, any girl or any boy. You might have heard about the conjunctiva. Starting from here, the conjunctiva which is attached, this is called as the palpebrial conjunctiva, and the conjunctiva attached to the sclera is known as the bulbar conjunctiva. Now just inner to the sclera and outer to the choroid, note that this is choroid, this is the neural layer of retina, this is pigmented layer of retina. Now just inner to the sclera and in between the choroid there is a layer known as the suprachoroidal layer or lamina fusca. Now the bulbar conjunctiva is highly vascular structure, means it has the vascular supply in very much amount as compared to that of palpebrial conjunctiva. So in any case, either due to the bacterial infection or the viral infection, in some cases there may be inflammation, and you might see the eye as along with the white spots or redness of eye. So that condition is called as episcleritis, means eye become red or the sclera becomes red in most of the parts. Now guys, I have already told that at this junction, this is called as limbus or the corneoscleral junction. This is the, you can say, the corneal equator, or you can say an equator line. This part is called as the optic disc. Now it must be noted that in this diagram I can show you there is a little bit bulging out of the sclera just beneath the choroid process, or just beneath the ciliary body, or you can say it the scleral spur. This scleral spur provide attachment to the muscle named as ciliarus. Now it must be noted that in some of the cases sclera must be pouching out. Pouching out means this is the sclera, it will pouch out, and in some cases the choroid will also pouch out from the sclera. That condition is called as staphyloma. Now another one of the important thing in sclera is at this junction, this is known as the anterior angle. This was the anterior chamber as I already told you, and this is the posterior chamber. Now it must be noted that in between the anterior and the posterior chamber, as I have already told you, that here is the aqueous humor and here is the vitreous humor. Aqueous humor continuously keeps on replenishing, means it is vitreous humor cannot be replaced. Aqueous humor is replaced within you can say in a tendency of about 2 to 3 hours. It is replaced turn by turn. So how the aqueous humor produced in the anterior chamber goes out from the eye. So at this anterior angle there is a small canal called as the canal of Schlemm, Schlemm. Here it is not possible to draw a diagram because this video will be much longer enough. I'll show you the diagram which was made by me. So guys, you can see this is the anterior chamber, these are ciliary processes. Okay, this is iris, this is lens. Aqueous humor flows out from the posterior compartment, reaches the anterior compartment, and from this anterior compartment, this is the angle of anterior chamber, which is mainly made by the choroid, iris and cornea. Okay, choroid, we cannot say choroid, an extension of choroid called as the ciliary body. So from this part, this angle, the aqueous humor goes into the canal of Schlemm, enters into the episcleral layer, and from that episcleral veins they drains out into the ophthalmic veins respectively. Now here I would like to tell you that the ciliary body consists of small villus like projection known as the ciliary processes. These ciliary processes are responsible for the production of aqueous humor which will make cornea wet.